Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and we are still in the middle of my 31 days of horror movie reviews, and, well, this is it. At least when it comes to the Boogeyman franchise. Yes, this is the Boogeyman 3, which, believe me, I am shocked as well that I kept going because those first two movies, especially part 2, sucked so bad. But the Boogeyman 3 came out just 1 year later, which is always a good sign. It was directed by Gary Jones. Now, what I thought of the Boogeyman 3 is... Look. Is this movie great? No. Is this movie amazing? Definitely not. Is it good? I don't know if I'm saying this just because in comparison to the first two, but to be honest, this is probably the best Boogeyman movie out of the series. Not saying much, so maybe it's not that great, but honestly, I had a good enough time watching it. I enjoyed myself for the most part. I will say that the Audrey character, Tobin Bell's daughter, I think that we could have done more with her. I mean, she could have been the main character. I would have been fine with that. It's an interesting thing to have her connected to her character from the last movie. But, hey, she's here. She had everything happen to her, and she's killed off. Alright, fine. Sarah is played by Erin Cahill. I don't know if I said that right, but I know she's been in a couple things like Supernatural, and I know a lot of people know her as the Pink Ranger from one of the several versions of the Power Rangers series, and that's cool, but I liked her as an actress. I liked her as the main character, so I guess that's why I wasn't as upset to see Audrey die, because Sarah held her own. She took the mantle of the main character pretty well. And seeing her go through this downward spiral that she goes through where she's desperate for people to believe her, but nobody will, because honestly, yeah, I know I harp on horror movies or movies in general where nobody believes the main character because it's frustrating and it gets you mad at everyone else, but this is far-fetched, this is crazy, and so I get it. But I like the twist. I like the twist that the Boogeyman is using her. The reason why he is keeping her alive, which sometimes that's not explained in horror movies. Why is the killer leaving our main girl alive other than the fact that she's the main girl? Well, it's because he's using her to spread his message, spread his word, spread the fear to make him stronger. So I thought that was interesting. Reminds me of Freddy Krueger in a lot of ways, and I feel like that was a better way to go with the Boogeyman. Less CGI. It was a person in a costume. Looked maybe silly at some points, but other points look fairly creepy. The long hair, the gross skin, and it's tall and grotesque. Like, I was willing to go along with that look, man. I think some of the death scenes were pretty creative, practical, lots of blood, lots of gore. I was willing to go along with that. I like the college dorm setting because there's plenty of kids kill left and right, and so that makes sense. And I want to talk about the ending, and I know that this goes into spoiler territory, and I've talked pretty well about this movie. At least I've said it doesn't suck, so maybe that means you guys want to check this one out. If you do, by all means, go check it out. I'm not saying you'll love it, I'm just saying it's a decent time waster. But the ending of this movie, where Sarah realizes that the Boogeyman is using her, so she just tells the cops, hey, I did the killings. It was me. It wasn't anybody else or anything else. And she gets arrested. There's even a moment where she's looking at the Boogeyman in the closet and says, with her eyes, she's basically like, F you, I'm going to win this. And so I love that. Her being whisked away through the halls and all the kids looking at her. She's covered in blood, looking like Carrie. I was into it. I was enjoying it. The movie elevator doors could have closed and you could have ended the movie like that, and I would have said, alright, this is going to get a pretty high rating for me. But then, in the elevator, because one of the cops doesn't believe her, he goes, there's no way you killed these people by yourself, or like you tore them apart with your own hands. Like, no, something else is going on here. She's swearing that she did it, and then Boogeyman shows up, takes her in the elevator up into the ceiling, and I guess kills her, because we don't know what happens to her. She just screams, and that's it. And so, and then they go 1 year later, and 2 other girls go into the dorm, and it starts all over again. But I was disappointed with that. I didn't want to see Sarah get killed. I felt like she was a strong enough character. She did enough strong things to survive. She deserved to survive. So yeah, they did the twist of surprise. Hey, nobody's safe. Sure, I will give them some respect for it, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I think the ending makes the movie, brings it down just maybe a point or two. Overall, though, I am going to say that this movie is enjoyable for the most part, is decent enough, does have good acting from our main actress, and the Boogeyman is used and portrayed a whole lot better than it's ever been used and portrayed before. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Have you seen the Boogeyman 2? Do you agree with me that they sort of turned it around with this last movie? Maybe too little too late, but still, I thought it wasn't bad. Or do you disagree and do you think it sucks as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Souls taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicking down the door with a Jason mask. With a deck don't machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going? I'm going. You know, I know that the man in the mirror is my next rival. Time goes and I never thought I'd live it so fast. Staring at the world from the end of my glass. Turned into a dark place, severed my brain. I done dropped out of class, but